Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Andrew, and we're brothers, and this is the Daniel and Andrew Show.
Where we give our opinions about movies and TV, and we give our opinions about movies, if we choose to accept it, that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Did you do anything fun recently?
Um, so I did watch a few things. So I watched, because I saw this a while ago, but you needed to still watch it. I saw Mission like the day it came out, and then it kind of put me in the Mission Impossible mood. So I actually
Mm,
rewatched a few. I watched 4 and 5.
those are the probably like one of the best. Yeah,
4, 5, 6?
Ghost.
No, I didn't watch six.
Four is Ghost Protocol, and five is Rogue Nation.
Yes, I rewatched the Jeremy Renner ones, as I like
Yep,
to call them. Yes, yeah, they were good. Yeah, I agree.
I think Ghost Protocol is the best one. And we're going to talk about that later anyway.
Okay, we can talk about it later. Yeah, um,
Yeah.
that's
I
what I did with my free time. That was that.
yeah. I watched stuff about Mission Impossible after and I was like, yeah. It gave me some clarity. So yeah, we're going to talk about Mission Impossible later. And got lots of stuff to talk about, including news about just Tom Cruise in general. Guy, he's got lots of projects lined up as he always does. Produced by him with the people that he makes stuff
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
Uh, I saw, speaking of things that long franchises, this is the sixth one. I watched Final Destination Bloodlines. Check
I
that
never
out.
saw it. Okay,
I thought it was pretty good.
I heard it wasn't bad. So
It's probably the best one since like the third one, I would say.
okay,
And it ties in with the first couple, and yeah, it's like the first final. That's the first person to get a premonition like that. Um, oh, it was pretty good. The kills were good. The opening scene was good. I thought the acting was pretty decent. It was a Final Destination movie, like the other ones, but it wasn't like so stupid like the last couple kind of were. They kind of just went more for like being gross and stuff, and this one was more. It was there was still a lot of shock value, but I think they did it well. And Tony Todd, Tony Todd's last movie, and they basically like they knew he was sick. He knew he was sick, obviously, and they basically gave him free reign to do whatever he wanted with his last scene. And his he has like a little monologue that's completely improvised, and it was very well
oh,
done. Um, so it's a good send off for him. It was a good movie. I liked that movie quite a bit. I would give that movie probably a 7.5.
well, cool.
Yep. So yeah. Uh, yeah, I think that's it. I went to Vegas, and so I didn't have a lot of time. I just worked other than going to Vegas. We stayed at Park MGM, which is the non-smoking one. That was good. We saw Mad Apple because we were originally going to see Bruno Mars, but I sold the tickets. And yeah, we saw Mad Apple, and it was good. And they had everybody in it. The comedian was all right, um, but the comedians that were there last time when me and you saw it were not in it, thankfully, because they were
Yeah,
not
they
great.
weren't good. Yeah, the
Yeah,
last time we went. Yeah.
yeah, they had some other guy basically in their slot, and he was much funnier than them. So, and they had the whole like the guys on the wheels and stuff. They had the whole thing back in there, so it was definitely better. And my friend had never seen it, so I was happy it was back kind of normal ish. So yeah, I had a good time. We went to Area 15 because the John Wick experience has opened there. We got to go to that. Um, I think it was pretty good. It could have been better, and it could have been worse. I mean,
Okay.
we've gone to other experiences at Area 15, me and you, and they have some far worse ones.
Oh
So,
yeah, there's some pretty low. I don't think John Wick would be worse than that
yeah,
line we stood in.
yeah. No, it was that one was the John Wick one. It was like half escape room, half like the immersive experience or whatever. You like talk to
Okay.
the accountant and you talk to the the gunsmith and you talk to the manager of the Las Vegas Continental and stuff like that. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty fun. It's basically just going through different rooms though. But and they had like bars with like drinks inspired by the movies. I sent you a picture. There's one where there's like it comes with like a bloody pencil.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. But they had some of the real props in the gift shop. Took a picture of that and stuff. That was pretty fun. Um, I had a good time doing that. And then we went into the Omega Mart. I got like the next level pass than the one that we got, and it was only like $25 more or something. So I thought it was worth it. It was fun. We had a good time. Um, I'd probably stay at Park MGM again. It was nice being like right in the middle of the strip. Um, so that was good. And we just kind of stayed in that general area. We didn't go off strip or anything. Um, but it was pretty busy that first day because there was a bunch of conventions, I guess. So, um, but yeah, it was fun. Um, cool. All right. Well, let's get into some news here, shall we? Um, let's see. So let's talk about Street Fighter. So we're getting a Street Fighter movie. Um, we got several names attached. Um, Jason Momoa, Roman Reigns, Andrew Koji, and Noah. What? I don't know how to say his last name. Centennial. I don't know.
Got no idea.
He was in Black Adam. Um,
Okay.
he was the big, got really big guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Ant Man.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he was Ant Man, but like the Office,
Yes. Yeah.
the Atom Smasher, I think. So
Dude, I don't remember.
anyway, um, I looked at this cast and I went, man, this should have been the cast of Mortal Kombat instead of who we got.
Sure.
I don't know. There's bigger names than most. Pretty much that whole cast of Mortal Kombat is nobodies. So
I don't think Scorpion is not a nobody.
yeah, okay.
Okay. Roman Reigns is a nobody to me. He's a bad wrestler.
I mean,
Get put
you
in
know
there.
who he is. You know him more than the guy
I
who's
know him for being
Sonya
bad.
Blade.
That's what I know for
Oh yeah,
being.
yeah. Well, you know, I don't. I think it's funny that Roman Reigns is basically they basically pushed him because of Jason Momoa being popular, and now they're in a movie together. So that's kind of fun.
I
Hope they
guess.
fight because that'd be funny. Um,
I
so,
mean, I'm sure they will.
but yeah, I mean, I'm not like a Street Fighter fan, so but the list of people in it is interesting. It raises an eyebrow. I don't think Roman Reigns is a particularly good actor. Only seen him in Hobbs and Shaw there. So
Yeah. Don't do yourself a favor and don't have him speak a whole lot. He needs to be a very silent Street Fighter
one of the
character.
quiet characters. Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know who that is. Don't know them, but
the only Street Fighter character I can think of off the top of my head is Chun Li
mhm.
and was it Ryu
He's in something. Yeah, I think it's Street Fighter.
or is
He,
that Tekken? I don't know. I don't
No,
care.
I don't think it's Tekken. No,
So it's Ryu and
Street
Ken,
Fighter is the
I
one where they
think.
go Hadouken, right?
Yeah, right. I think
Okay,
so. Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I
not.
don't know.
But they did a Street Fighter movie with what's his name, Van Damme, back in the day. That was the last time I think they'd done Street Fighter. So time to make it because video game movies, so are
Yeah,
doing well.
I feel like
So
our news here is just like this video game is being made into something.
yeah, pretty much. There's a lot of that because Minecraft is probably not going to make a billion, but pretty close to a billion. Which I thought I was not convinced that it wasn't going to make money. So I felt like it was
Mm,
going to make money.
true. I thought it was gonna make a billion, but I mean, it still did really well.
It still did very well. So yeah, that's why we're going to get video games. And Mario did well, and Sonic did well. So we'll get video game movies now. Um, Video game movies have pretty much taken over for superhero movies. Which let's talk about some superhero stuff. Um, and they're making another season of Daredevil, and Jessica Jones will return in the second season of Daredevil with what's her name, Kristen Ritter would come back and be
Yeah, the
Jessica
same
Jones.
lady. Yeah,
Yeah, so Punisher's already back, so I guess they'll just slowly bring them all back, probably.
I, I guess. I feel like they were kind of popular, but those were the first two that came out, and then like as more came out, they got worse. Or if I don't know if it got worse or what, maybe they rushed the second two because they eventually had like a all of them in the same one, right?
Yeah,
Because they had to like make those deadlines, so the last two really got rushed, is what I heard.
I would say they got progressively worse. I mean, I thought I didn't. The only one that I liked was Daredevil. Punisher was okay, but I didn't watch the whole thing. So, but yeah, if you know Luke Cage we thought was boring, and then Iron Fist was not good, and the Defenders was horrible.
I saw all of them except I don't think. Well, I didn't watch Punisher, which Punisher came like after everything. I want to say.
I think
Um,
Punisher was the first season was before Defenders, and then the second season was after Defenders, if I remember correctly. So technically, that would have broken the chain of getting worse, but whatever.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah,
I
eh,
guess. I guess the Daredevil show did good
good enough.
numbers. I guess. I didn't watch it because I didn't like that first episode at all. So
I might go back to it. We'll see. I mean, I've seen all the other ones, but whatever. Um, that was just small potatoes MCU stuff. Now for the big one. Avengers. Both the Avengers movies have been pushed back. Um, the next one, Doomsday, will come out in December of next year instead of May, and then that pushed the other Avengers movie back till the December of the year following.
so
So
both
they just
December. Okay.
so both just got moved back the 6 months or whatever. So they'll have Avatar, Avengers for the next three holidays, for next three Christmas.
So wouldn't it? So it's Avatar this Christmas, then Avengers next, and Avengers again, and then wouldn't it be Avatar again?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Well,
Or
I mean, maybe it's another year. After, no, it's every. Isn't it supposed to be every 3 years? I
no,
thought.
I think they're going to do. I think it's going to be. I think they have a Star Wars movie coming out, and then I think it's event. Then I think it's Avatar. I believe Avatar was supposed to be 29, if I
Okay.
remember correctly.
Okay.
So, but
Uh,
yeah.
I don't hate that. I mean, we have to wait a little bit longer. I guess they needed more time to cook on this one. So
Well, yeah, they were filming recently. So
yeah.
yeah, I know that. Well, now Spider-Man was supposed to come out in between, but now it's going to be before the first
Oh,
the
you guys
next two
pushing that
Avengers.
back.
They have not pushed that. So that tells me that there's no connection with the Avengers movies. It's just going to be Spider-Man's. So is that a good thing, bad thing? That remains to be seen. I mean, that would probably tell me that it wouldn't be a multiverse movie unless they just do what they did with No Way Home, where it just wraps itself
Yeah,
up in the thing. And that also probably means Spider Man ain't going to be in the Avengers.
yeah. I think that would be a mistake, but
Yeah. Well, at least maybe not the first one. I would assume the
oh, you
second
think
one.
maybe in the
He
second
might
one.
probably show
Okay.
up in the second one. Would
I
be
guess
my
his name never showed up
no,
on the chairs there.
no.
So
But that's not everybody's. That's
yeah, yeah,
no way
yeah,
that's
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. I
So
know. Yeah,
we'll see. Clearly, there'll be some sort of cliffhanger for the second one,
for sure, for sure.
like they did with Infinity War. I'd be shocked if there wasn't. Um, but I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. I'm hoping it's a good thing and they're making it better, um, where they're just not crunching people to kill themselves. So to make
Yeah,
something, I'm hoping.
I'm hoping the
Um,
CG looks a lot better because the
yeah,
CG has definitely been looking worse and worse, in my opinion. So hopefully, with more time to cook on it, it looks a lot better.
yeah, agreed, agreed. Cool. Yeah, that was that. All right, now let's get into our Tom Cruise rumors and news. We'll talk about the for sure things first. We're getting a Top Gun 3 and a Days of Thunder 2. So Days of Thunder is a movie that Tom Cruise was in, and it's a racing movie. Um, and um, so Joseph Kosinski is making F1, the director of Top Gun Maverick. He just did F1. So I would assume that he would probably make at least one of these movies, if not both of those movies, with Tom Cruise there. I mean, I would assume he would use the same stuff for a Days of Thunder 2. Um,
Hmm.
am I interested in that? No. Um, but I don't know. Tom Cruise I like, but he doesn't like get me like pumped for it. So, but we'll see. They would definitely hope that would be like a Top Gun Maverick, obviously, and then obviously we got Top Gun 3. Are you interested in either of those?
No, not really. I mean, Tom Cruise pulls in all of the old fogies, right? I
Yeah,
mean, even when I saw this one, and I saw it during the day, the only people that were in there were old people because I saw it during the day. And I mean, it was still pretty sold out. But, well, I mean, afterwards, everything was sold out. I saw it early Thursday. But, yeah. So anything he makes is going to, at least, I'd be surprised if it didn't make more than 400, like literally anything that Tom Cruise is in, just because those people will see him no matter what. So I think they'll both be a success, but am I interested in those two? No, not really. I think Top Gun a little bit more than the other one, but I do like stunts and whatnot, but I prefer like fist fight action type of John Wick stuff. That's what I like. But
yeah, I know what you like.
stunts are cool as well.
Yeah. All right. So you're feeling about the same as me. How about a Les Grossman movie, which is the character that Tom Cruise played in Tropic Thunder?
Oh, you mean like a movie around him?
Around that character, yeah.
Mm, are you saying that's happening?
They're working on it right now.
I think that's a real big risk. especially in today's age, I don't know if
Yeah.
you can even get away with that.
Hmm.
Because I mean, I feel like you were kind of on the border even then.
Uh,
Um, it was really funny. I'm not. Tropic Thunder is a great movie, but I feel like you come into the danger of just ruining what's came before it.
agreed.
Um, so I'd be like really worried about it. But I mean, as long as Tom Cruise is involved somehow, I'll have a little faith in it. But
Well, I
yeah.
know when that movie came out, and when I watched it with people, people didn't even realize that that's Tom Cruise.
Hmm.
So I think that's probably the best Tom Cruise role.
See what you're saying. Yeah. But
So we'll see. Yeah, they're working on that. It's been in development a while, but with Mission Impossible being done, and stuff, that was big air quotes on that. You know, we'll see. Um, but yeah, um, I think he'll try to milk any dime he can. I didn't realize that in the beginning it literally says a Tom Cruise production in the beginning of this film. So in the beginning of Mission Impossible. So yeah, he slaps his name on it. So he's making the money. So um, I'm sure he'll try his best to make it good because I'm
yeah,
sure
no, for sure,
his name
for
will be
sure.
front and center, right? So
Yeah.
so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I'd be interested, but I'm not sure if that character works more than short bursts. I think that's what made the character funny. I don't know
Yeah.
if just strong curse words the whole time can
Yeah. It
last.
really depends on what even the direction of the movie is. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a million directions you could take that in. I don't even know. Are you bringing back more of the original cast as well? Like, is Ben Stiller coming back? I have no idea.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a Tropic Thunder 2. It's it would be a
Yes.
spin-off movie. So
Specifically him. Yeah. Yeah. I have
so
no
we'll,
idea.
we'll see what happens. All right. Well, let's move on to the old trailers here. Get on the trailer train here. Let's go. Let's start with the lighter fare here, and also probably gave us the least amount of information. Zootopia 2. We got definitely a teaser for that. What'd you
Yeah.
think?
I mean, clearly I have no idea what's going on in the story. It was just like, here's the new animation style ish. I mean, it's not new, but you know what I mean. Um, and they're kind of running around and things are happening. That's a synopsis of the teaser trailer there. But
Yeah.
the song was a good. Uh, yeah, it looked cute. Yeah, definitely a teaser. We'll have to wait for another one to really give thoughts on it for sure. Um, this was my number one pick in the draft, so I'm hoping, um, you know, I'm not wrong in my head that it'll do better than Jurassic Park. We'll see.
Um, I still think it's going to do well. I think it. I mean, it gave us a look at new characters. Um, that's about it. Um, I never. I was not like I like Zootopia, but I I don't know why it was such a huge success. Um, I liked the movie. I think it's a well done movie, and I think it does touch on good, like the messages are good and stuff. Um, but I didn't think it was like a phenomenal movie. But I did enjoy the movie. So I'm not like this movie. I mean, you're just gonna hope it makes. a butt ton of money for the draft, obviously, but I'm also hoping it's a good movie. Um,
Yeah, I think it'll. I think it's going to be a good movie. I don't know. I have no way of telling if it's going to be a good movie yet because I need a better trailer than that.
yeah.
But based off of how well Inside Out 2 did, is kind of where my mindset was for this Zootopia. It's very similar time difference between them. Um, they both do. Zootopia, I'm pretty sure, made more overseas than it did here. So even a kind of like a Jurassic Park kind of thing, where that's where all its money comes from. We'll see. I don't know. I'm hoping over $1 billion for that one for sure.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And for Jurassic Park, I'm hoping like 900 to 700. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm hoping like one and a half, and then
Crazy.
I think Zootopia. I think you compared it to Inside Out. Well, you're hoping anyway.
Hmm.
I think Inside Out, the first movie, is like really, really good movie. And I thought the second one was really, really good. So if it can be really, really good, then yeah, it can make a lot of money. Um, but then again, Lilo and Stitch is making, a metric crap ton of money. And I thought, Lilo and Stitch, that was the other thing I saw. I thought Lilo and Stitch was
Hold
pretty
on, hold
mid.
on, hold on. Oh, okay. I saw it too. I was wondering if you wanted to do a review on it, but
Yeah, we could do a review on it.
okay. Well,
We could do a
we'll get
review on it.
into it then. Yeah,
All
we both
right.
saw that. Yeah.
We can do a review on it. So yeah, Lilo and Stitch was there. Okay, we'll talk about it later. What was I gonna
What's the next
say?
trailer? Or are you still on? Well,
My
you were.
train of thought is completely gone.
Yeah, you were
So,
on Inside Out being good movies,
well,
and then
whether it's a good
Lilo is
movie or
better.
not, if people go to see it, people will go to see it. I mean, Lilo and Stitch is making a lot of money. We'll see if it continues to make a lot of money or not. But yeah,
Okay. There
so
is actually one more thing. Sorry, I don't want to make this super long, but the time window between for Jurassic Park has a ton of movies coming out around it, right? But Zootopia doesn't. I mean, it's coming out Thanksgiving, and that thing could run all the way into January. We don't know.
no, yeah, no, it's. I mean, they're not stupid. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they
I,
have the time frame
I'm
for a
just saying, I
reason.
don't think there's much competition in that time frame as far as
Um,
for kids' movies.
yeah, for kids movies, I think like SpongeBob. Uh, but yeah, yeah, I don't. No kids movies.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I'm thinking high numbers. That's why I'm thinking.
yeah, SpongeBob. I mean, if you Avatar, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's family, you know.
I agree, but I don't think there's enough conflict there. But I see what you're saying. But
Yeah, there's yeah, because they well, first of all, nothing's coming out for Christmas because they know unless they're like SpongeBob or something, because they know they're going to get munch, 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 munch from Avatar. Avatar is going to kill everything except for probably SpongeBob. So, yeah. I mean, Wicked comes out, so women will go and see Wicked. The same women that are going to see Zootopia are going to see Wicked, probably. Um, but yeah, I mean, I I didn't pick any. I don't have anything in the holiday corridor at all. Just how it shook out.
mhm.
So yeah. Except for I have Now You See Me, and I think that could still do well because that's like a different kind of audience. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, I didn't pick no Tron or anything. So yeah.
hmm
Um, so I think I have an outside shot. I just need things to hit. That being said, I do. And the rumor is Michael is going to get pulled out of the year and they're going to
Oh
split it
yeah,
into two.
I wish I had gotten Lilo, but I didn't. But at least that's taking it to the grave. So
Yeah, yeah. So, whatever. All right, let's let's talk about Jurassic World while we were talking about things. Um, Jurassic World 2, the second trailer came out. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Hmm.
I thought this trailer was pretty good.
Meh. I mean, I kind of got the gist of what's going on from the first one. I'm not saying it looked bad or anything. Um, I don't know. I feel like that first one, the first Jurassic World, when it came back, made a ton of money because people were clamoring for it because it had been so long. I think it's like that the first Star Wars, like when they came back, that
Mm-hmm.
really made a ton of money, and they've
Mm-hmm.
been declining ever since. And I'm hoping the decline is still there. It's still going to make tons of money and will justify. It's probably like 400 million or some ridiculous number it took to make it, but
So
um,
this movie was actually made for cheaper.
okay,
That's how they made it so fast, and they got somebody who's made make things that look good on a budget. Gareth Gareth Edwards, who did Creator, and they made the Creator for like 70 million or something.
okay, so they'll have more profit side on this one,
Yeah,
then, but I don't think
and
it's going to make as much.
I think it could still make 1 billion, and it looks good, and I have faith that he can make a good movie. So, and it has bankable stars in it, like a Scarlett Johansson. So, um, I think it could do well, and it's always done well. So, um, yeah,
I just think it's such a packed summer that I think it's going to get hurt.
yeah. Well, I'm hoping other things get trampled by it instead of me getting cut off
Yeah,
by it. That's what I'm hoping for.
we'll see.
Um, So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I thought this trailer looks fun, and that's what the movie needs to be fun, and it looks fun. Um, so when they're in like the little boat or whatever, and they're like trying to paddle away from the T Rex, is pretty funny. That was pretty fun. Um, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. All right. Caught Stealing is the last trailer we're going to talk about. So this is Darren Aronofsky, who did like Requiem for a Dream and The Whale. And this movie looks surprisingly fun. I was going to say upbeat, but it's definitely not like an upbeat movie. I mean, upbeat in tempo, but not upbeat in tone.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I thought it looked pretty fun, and it doesn't look depressing as hell. So this might be the first Darren Aronofsky film I want to watch and like. So
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Just like main character has to deal with the circumstances he's given, type of thing.
mhm.
Um, I think the main guy is kind of upcoming right now.
Austin Butler, yeah,
Yeah, so we'll see if he can, kind of lead his own like this type of movie. I don't think he's done an action main lead actiony. Like he's been
main
in
lead,
action, but
no,
not main. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's in Dune and Elvis.
yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, he's
Like
collecting
he's up
quite.
and coming. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. So I think if he can pull this off, he might be able to break out in this kind of genre. We'll see.
yeah. We'll see. I thought it looks pretty good. It's coming out in this end of the summer, so we'll see how that does. Uh, so yeah, I thought it looks pretty good. I think it's coming out like August 28th or something like that.
I don't think we have too many things coming out at the end of August, so I think we'll probably be able to review it then.
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Um, cool. All right, that was all our trailers. We're gonna move into our. It looks like double review here. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
all right. All right. Well, so the first review we're gonna talk about today is Lilo and Stitch. Um, I thought this movie was super mid and generic. I've seen this movie before. It was called Lilo and Stitch in 2002. Um, And these movies always they bring up two things. They always bring up the question, did we need this? And the second question for me to make it a success is, did they make it better or do something different with it? The answer to the first question is no. And the answer to the second question is no. So this movie was a failure for me. I would give it a 5. It was a very generic movie for me. What do you think?
Um, the thing, in my opinion, I don't know if I'm just an animation guy and I like animation better, but you'll never be able to take something that's been animated first and make it live action and have it be better. I just, can you name any of them that have been better than the animated ones? I don't think so. I'll let you think about it and continue here, but I don't. I just, it's definitely not better. I don't think it was horrible by any means. Yeah, it was. I don't even think that was done bad. I might be a little bit higher than you. I think I'm a little above average on it, honestly. But I agree, it's not. It's not done better in any fashion. It's pretty much the exact same thing, live action, except the CG aliens look dumb to me. Except Stitch. I think they did good with Stitch, but everything else was like, I don't know. Like when I don't want to give spoilers yet either. So
Stitch is the moneymaker, so you need him to be cute. Stitch does well because little girls think he's cute, and then he's also kind of rude and picks his own boogers and stuff. So the boys think he's funny and stuff. That's why
mhm.
he makes the money. That's why he was created, and why he's still a loved character. Um, that's not enough for me. Um, because I'm not a little boy and I'm not a little girl that thinks he's cute. I mean, he's cute enough, but
Yeah,
everything about this movie was worse. I think the characterization of most of the characters were worse. I thought the CG on the aliens were weird or bad, other than Stitch. There's not enough Stitch. Like they almost cut out half of the backstory for Stitch and like the motivations for Stitch. Made him very basic. They cut out characters. Yeah, yeah. So I did think about it. I think the Jungle Book, the live action Jungle Book, did something with the original and made it better. Therefore,
okay.
that would be better. Um, But yeah, I'd have to think about it more. But no,
You know,
most of
I
the
see
time.
what you're saying. I actually really like the original Jungle Book, but I've seen it like a billion times. That was one of the few movies that Grandma had for me to watch. I've just seen it a million times, so I really remember that one.
But there's
I,
like a girl in it that's weird. Like they cut
I'm not.
her out, and
I
you
agree.
know,
That's, I would say that's one of the movies that probably isn't that good, but I just like it. So I
yeah.
totally hear you on that. But I'll give you that one. But that's, yeah. There's been what? How many now? Little Mermaid. You want to go down the list? I don't think any of them really are that much better at all better.
Yeah. Well, if you're talking about just Disney, no. I mean, I thought Cinderella was good. Um, and I mean, I liked The Little Mermaid. I was actually surprised at how much I liked The Little Mermaid, but I'm also not a huge Little Mermaid guy to begin
Mhm.
with. So, I mean, the fact that I thought that movie was going to suck and it didn't suck,
I
but
mean, I
no.
thought it sucked, but
The only thing I thought sucked was Aquafina being a bird and terrible
yeah,
singing.
I just think the original animation one is still better. Even
Yeah, no, I
the songs, ever. I think all overall. but let's not get too off topic here on this movie. I think I think it did okay. I think it did a little bit above average for me. But yes, they didn't do anything different. It's copy and paste, but they took some things out, I guess, and then they changed like little things that you're like you probably wouldn't even remember that they changed it. Um, so yeah, I guess that's where I'm at.
And like I've said more than once, I was not a huge Lilo and Stitch fan. I found Lilo and Stitch that is pretty average movie to me, and you didn't do anything better with this. And I wasn't high on Lilo and Stitch, so it is
Yeah,
an uphill battle. And like I said, if it's not better or do something different with it that is actually in its favor or to its benefit, it's a failure. To me, I thought it was other and with those caveats, I thought it was an average kids movie. Um,
okay.
and I know that this mid movie, is going to make a lot of money, and it's just giving the slop to the kids, and the kids are going to eat it up and go and see it over and
I
over
mean, I
again.
think that's pretty much what they did with Minecraft as well. I thought the overall story was very mid. I don't remember what I gave it. I assume it wasn't higher than a six, but I actually think this one was better than Minecraft. But I don't know; they were both poor movies. In my eyes.
I think Minecraft has more fun stuff in it, at least to put it. Oh, I I thought Minecraft was much better. I
I
thought
see your
Minecraft, at
point,
least there was fun
especially
stuff.
since this is your second time basically seeing this movie again.
Yeah,
You're just like, this is a waste of my time. But when it's a kid who either hasn't seen Lilo or doesn't care that they've seen it and will see it again, but in a kind of a different version, they're just going to love it, right? So,
I think if I was a kid and I saw the animated version and I saw this, I think even as a kid I'd be like, I like the animated version more.
I don't, maybe you're right, but I don't think it really matters to them. I think once they see Stitch being a goofball or whatever, they'll just
Yeah.
instantly like it. Um, I don't know. Clearly, yeah, it's going to make a bunch of money. I wish I could have picked it. Yeah, not. I guess final is not better than an original. I still claim to these days that they shouldn't do these live action ones. They are obviously just there. They're doing it to make money, and it makes them money. That's why we keep getting them.
Well, oh, it's funny is because when Snow White came out, that flopped to roost go so bombed so hard that they're like, oh, we're gonna take a pause on these. I don't know if we should make these anymore. And then this one's gonna make money, so now they're like, oh, we're gonna just get a billion of these. It's the no win thing here. Um, I think this
Well,
is it for a while. I don't right.
well, in terms of comparing it to Snow White, I just think Snow White's a super old story that really just needed to be updated and elevated if you wanted it to be good. And they didn't really do that in any good way. And this one was already a good movie, and they just made the same thing. Therefore, it can't. It can be a little worse, but it can't be better, type of thing.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't take anything for me, they didn't take anything away from Snow White. They just basically left it the same, maybe a little bit of changes, but it wasn't to its detriment. This one, they took things away and made it worse.
Okay.
But I still think this movie was better, but
Hmm.
they're on the same. Like they're still
Okay. So yours think that? Yeah. I don't
they
know what I
kind of
gave Snow White, but I give that thing a 4 or a 3. I don't remember. I
yeah.
wish I really need to start writing these down because man, that movie blew. But um, I think this one was better. I don't think we're on the same field.
Yeah, I I would if they said, "Do you want which one do you want to watch?" I was like, "Can I st- jab sticks in my eyes instead?" Like I wouldn't want to watch either one again. Um, I guess I guess I would say this one. I don't
Okay.
know.
I was like, okay. Um, I think this one's
This
like a 6, and I feel like the original's like a 7 or an 8, or you could even do a 7.5 if
this
you
one
want.
is shorter, so I'd probably pick this one.
Mhm.
That's Snow White.
Oh, you're then Snow White. Okay. Um, I don't think we even need to go into spoilers on this one. You know, watch the original first. I think it's got a lot more heart and a lot more whimsy. Just
Just
I
watch
don't
the
know.
first one. Don't watch
Yeah.
this. It's not worth your time. I would say skip it. If it's see it, stream it, skip it. This is a skip it for me. There's nothing you gain nothing from getting watching this movie. Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, this little girl was cute.
Yeah.
Eh.
I don't know. Laura liked it, so I'm trying to see it from different perspectives. I don't think. I mean, clearly the money shows that people don't care. Um, but I definitely wouldn't see this in theaters for sure. I'm very against seeing things in theaters. Um, I don't think it adds anything to this movie. That's for sure. So I guess stream it if you're really curious. But yeah, it can be skipped. I would just watch the original one if you're wanting Lilo and Stitch.
I think I liked Mufasa more than this.
No, but no.
At
My
least some.
brother.
Yeah, at least I had a good chuckle out of that. Like, there's not
I
like,
just pure cringe, I guess. Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, I'm ready to move away from
yeah.
that. Um, all right, now our review for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. So this is the eighth Mission Impossible film in the franchise and the quote unquote last one. What'd you think?
Are you sure that's true, or did the entity tell you to say that, Dave? Hmm.
Good point. Good point.
Um, this might be the worst one out of the ones I've seen. I've seen four to this one. I haven't seen the original ones from the 2000s. Um, I still think it was a good movie. I don't know if I don't even know if I should use the word good movie. I don't know. I'm a bounce around a little bit, but I think this is by far my least favorite in the group. What did you think?
This is my ranking of the eight movies.
Okay, so you've seen all of them?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Okay,
I
go ahead.
probably I'll probably rewatch the original three. I don't know. Maybe you want to do that with me? We can.
Yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, because I've
Okay,
never seen them. Yeah,
can do that right after this. This is my ranking two. So that's the one directed by John Woo. So you got the slow motion and the doves and stuff. Three, which is directed by J.J. Abrams. This one,
Oh wait. So this is the bottom. Okay, sorry
yeah,
for some. Okay, yeah.
this is
Continue.
starting
Sorry.
from the bottom. Fallout. So
Okay.
that's the one with Cavill
Hmm.
that everyone loves for some reason. Um,
Yeah, that's good.
Mission Impossible, the first one. Rogue Nation, which is the fifth one. Um, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One. That's not a Part One, so I guess that's just Dead Reckoning now. And Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. I think it's the best one,
There's four.
which is four. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I mean, Ghost Protocol is directed by Brad Bird, who directed The Incredibles, and was pretty much the blueprint of the Mission Impossible movies since then.
Moving forward. Yeah.
You have the big set piece at the end. You have the interesting opening. You have the good fights in the middle. Um, yeah, that's where he kind of started, and then you have the really big set piece. You know, where that crazy stunt that he always does. Right, it was the one where he was climbing the tower.
Mm-hmm.
In I think
And
that
Ghost
one's the
Protocol.
best one. Yeah, that's the one that had Jeremy Renner. There's a lot of good parts with that movie. That being said, now we're going to talk about this movie. Um, for me, I know everybody loved Fallout, Mission Impossible Fallout. Um, I think this is the same criticism I have of this movie. The first half of Fallout, I think, is boring. It was a lot of talky, heavy, exposition heavy. And then the back half of the movie, you have fights and the big set piece with the flying on the helicopter and everything. Um, but I thought the villain in Fallout was kind of boring, and then they brought him back later, um, or he was brought back from the previous
The
movie.
preview. Yeah.
But I thought his character was boring, and in this one, as I felt the same way. The front half of this movie was pretty boring. I thought the villain was lame, and he's from the previous movie. Um, the Gabriel or Isai Morales' character, and I thought the back half of the movie was very well done. Um, and the flying of the plane and everything, stuff's in the trailer. It's all good, but I think the first half of this movie hurts it. I think it helps having Angela Bassett in this movie because I like Angela Bassett, and I think the writing in this movie, the dialogue isn't particularly very good. It's very melodramatic, but someone like her can kind of pull off some of the goofiness. They had like, Nick Offerman and stuff, like people that I like, and I think it helps to having them in it because I like them. But,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just because they're saying it, I think it helps a little bit. Um, yeah, I'm at like a 7 for this one. It's just like this like unevenness, but I like the characters, I like the franchise, so it just like pushes it over the top for me. Um, yeah, I think it's an uneven movie, but and it also comes off the high for me. Some people didn't like the last one as much. I thought the last one was very well done. I think the last one is a really good movie. And this one was just like not as good. Um,
Hmm.
but I still enjoyed it. And also, I think the movie was too long, but most of them are pretty long. So,
I think specifically the this one and the last one were really long. They're like 3 hours long. Way too long. That's for sure. Especially if you're not doing stunts like the entire time. But the stunts in this one were really, really awesome, and I did enjoy. But I almost want to say that was the only part I enjoyed of this movie was the stunts. This storyline sucked so much baloney. Entity is stupid. You basically did nothing with it. Um, it's just like it's the real big villain, and then it's like so stupid that it puts itself in its own little bottle at the end. I don't know. I don't want to get into spoilers yet, but that's what truly ruins this movie for me is the entity overall. Gabriel absolutely sucks. He's just kind of there, and he's kind of like just leftovers from the last movie that they didn't dealt with. He should have been dealt with in the last movie and shouldn't have been in this one. But he kind like they still used him. It just I don't. None of his stuff was particularly interesting, and he wasn't even his end wasn't even satisfying. It was just kind of goofed. It was just like a goofy thing. I don't know. It feels like they had two different visions for the movie, and then like closer, they kind of made it more straight and narrow for the audience or something. Maybe they like Laura was thinking there was going to be some side plot where the lady of this movie, we didn't know if she was going to be good or bad the whole time, but I never got that. But it's like I feel like they had more storylines in their original cut of this movie, and I think they cut a bunch of stuff out. Um,
well, what's interesting? So, okay, so here's something about the Mission Impossible franchise as a whole. First of all, they a lot of the time they don't have a plan, and it's clear they don't have a plan, and they kind of just wing it. It seems like in a lot of them, um, it's kind of, it reminds me. I mean, it is American James Bond. I mean, it's American James Bond
Hmm.
where, like, in the was it the last one, or I think it was the last one where they finish up the villain from the previous couple movies in the beginning of the last movie, if I remember correctly.
You talking about James Bond, or are you talking about?
No, this one. I'm talking about Mission
Uh,
Impossible,
yeah,
right? Was
I don't remember. I didn't rewatch it, so I don't think so.
I think they do. I can't remember what his name is. Um, where they kind of like set him up or whatever. Anyway, I think they, but they didn't do it in this one. They should have just done that with Gabriel, where they
Wrapped
just
him up quickly.
hand waved him away. What they should have done. But the thing is, then they're just going against AI the whole time.
TMZ. Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do?
It's a lose lose, but they wrote it, not me. I just think they wrote
Yeah.
themselves in a corner from what they had
Hmm.
in the last one, and they had to
Yeah.
do something with it. I
I
think
think,
that's most biggest flaw there.
well, then they also, their plan, their winging it strategy doesn't always work. Sometimes it works very well, sometimes it doesn't. And I noted, and in this one, I think um, them originally it was going to be a part one, part two, but then they got rid of the part two branding because people don't like part one, part two. But it is a part one, part two, so it's like
Yeah,
you can't get around it. So that's the problem. The only way they could have not done the part one, part two, is if also they wrapped up this entity thing with a hand wave in the beginning and did something completely different for the end. But then, they do a lot of trying to connect all these movies together because of things that Ethan Hunt has done in these other movies, you know? Um, yeah, and it doesn't really fit. They it's yeah, them not having a plan but trying to have a plan at the same time doesn't really work. But and a lot of, and that's what reminds me of like a James Bond, where what they do in a lot of the James Bonds, like you never see a Bond girl again, whatever. And sometimes when they do that, they just get killed really quickly in the next one. And that's what they needed to kind of do here. Um, but
even if they had done it, I don't think it would have saved the movie, but I do think it would have made it better. Maybe it went up by a point or not. It depends on what they would have done with the entity, but I just think
yeah,
the entity's storyline in general just sucks. So
well, yeah, they have that, and then they also have characters. Like some characters have maintained for many, many movies. Some characters don't maintain for many movies. Like they have Vanessa Kirby in the last two, but they didn't have her in this one. And but then they have like the lady who's Mantis is in this one again, and like the cops guys are in this
yeah,
again. It's like they pick and choose. Like Jeremy Renner kind of disappeared, and he never came back. Like why? This, like they just don't. They it's just the people don't. Angela Bassett wasn't in the last one, but she's in this one. They just because people scheduling conflicts and stuff, and it's to the movie's detriment sometimes when they can't just have a through storyline. But also a lot of these movies, there's like 5 years difference between movies. um
yeah,
like
I understand that.
I
Yeah,
think this is the shortest distance between two movies in the
yeah,
whole franchise.
and I think it's still by far they've had these double ones where they're kind of related to each other. They had the fourth and the fifth and the
Fifth,
sixth one,
fourth, and fifth.
fourth and fifth. No, because they had isn't fifth the start of that one guy? Yeah, no, it is. It's the Syndicate. Fifth is Syndicate, and then they deal with the remnants of the Syndicate in the Henry Cavill one that you say you don't
Oh,
like.
okay.
So they're kind of related.
Yeah.
And I feel like that one did the whole relation of the movies better than this one, for
Yeah.
sure. but there was more time in between, I guess is what you're saying. In that one compared to
Yeah,
this.
well, because like, so the first one came out in '96, the second one came out in 2000, third one came out in 2006, the fourth one came out in 2011, the sixth one came out in 2015 or 16 or 15. I think it's 15, and then 18, and then 23, and then now. So like, there's usually like at least 3 or 4 or 5 years between
Mm-hmm.
movies, and this one had two. But then also it was supposed to be part one, part two. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that being said, I still think the movie is good enough. I mean, I like the stuff with the submarine. I like the stuff in the beginning. I just think it's just more of a letdown because I thought the last one was really good. Um, I would give it like a 7.
I can't decide between a 6 and a 7. I did like the stunts. I just didn't like anything else about the movie, man. I I don't know. I just really dislike the entity. I really dislike Gabriel. I think the villains really help these types of movies, and the villains just blew.
I think that, but you really like the last one, and I mean, there's the entity in that one, and Gabriel's in that one.
I liked the set pieces more, and then they did more with the cast
Yeah,
of them. And this one was just Ethan Hunt the entire time, which is fine. I like Ethan Hunt, and I loved the stunts that he did this time around. But I don't think I'll ever watch this one again. They didn't. The rest of the cast, what's her head, and they didn't do nothing in this movie. Like they tried to give them something to do, and everything they gave them to do was just boring
yeah,
and weirdly edited. Like we could go into spoilers if you want to talk
yeah.
about it,
We can
but
go into spoilers, sure.
editing's all over the place. I feel like I'm watching two different movies. I don't know. I I'm between a 6 and a 7. I almost want to go to a 6, but it's not that bad. But I just can't. Those stunts are really good. I just don't know if I that deserves a whole nother point or not. So I'll be at a 7. We'll talk about spoilers. I'll
All
give a
right.
final.
Um. Yeah. Okay. Um. Would you see it, stream it, or skip it?
I think it's worth seeing in theaters for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I saw in Dolby at 9:15, and that theater was packed.
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
what about you?
I saw it. I don't know what they call it, but it was their IMAX thing, their
Their premium
luxuries.
thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I saw it at like 3. It
I will
wasn't
say, I,
packed yet, but people are in work. So
I will say, seeing it in Dolby was awesome. It sounded awesome, like when they're in the plane and stuff. That was cool. Um, did you did you have good seats at your
oh
thing?
yeah, no, I ordered them in advance. I was
Yeah,
right in the middle, and yes, sound quality was great. So
yeah,
I think I had the best experience I could have given myself for sure.
yeah. I thought is a real those movies are just fun to see in the theaters. I think those are theater movies. If any movies are theater movies, those are theater movies. So, um, and you got the song. I always like the opening and stuff with the song and the all that stuff. So cool. Yeah. All right. So let's get into spoilers here. Uh, so yeah. So the plane sequence is interesting because, and Dad brought this up to me. Um, Isai Morales' character Gabriel could have just flown somewhere else, just flown a different direction, and he would have been screwed. Um, so
Yeah, I mean, there was so many of like you could say that about so many parts in this movie, and they would have failed. You know what I mean? But it
yeah,
was Mission Impossible, right? But Yeah, just the sequences of how one thing leads to another just really blew in this one. Um, and then they keep making it look like some of the cast is gonna die, and then they don't. That's why I
Except for
keep
one.
saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, he died." Yeah. Um, yes, Luther dies. That's the spoiler.
Yeah.
But honestly, who cares? And um, yeah, it just wasn't done well. I don't know. And then like at the end, they're defusing the nuke, and they're like, "Someone's gonna have to stay behind." And then like, "I'll stay behind. I'll stay behind.
Yeah.
I'll give
I
my
was
life."
like,
And then,
what?
oh, actually, if we defuse this in a slightly different way, we can give ourselves 10 seconds,
We
and
need
maybe we'll make it.
three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just
Hmm.
like this is dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That was
then
weird.
the other three are inside, and he's funny. He's always funny, but it's like they're just doing nothing. So they have to give some mantis something to do, and you got to catch the genie in the bottle with this one
Yeah.
fraction of a second, and all she does is just like, oh, green light. It's just like what such useless screen time for them.
I don't know. To be honest with that, I kind of like that stuff because the cheesy, goofy stuff is what makes the movie. Like it's supposed to be Mission Impossible. Like it's like almost impossible to do or whatever. That's like the point.
I
I
get
think
it,
it's
but what they were doing was so minimal. Like they're supposed to be field agents. Like in the other ones, they're fighting somebody. Trying like in Ghost
yeah.
Protocol, they're fighting in the car thing, and he's literally giving life and limb to get to
No,
that
no, no.
thing before him to
No, I
defuse it.
agree. The problem is that they're doing a non-tangible enemy
Yes.
is hard, right?
Yeah.
And the one enemy that they have is basically by himself. Or
Yeah.
yeah, he is by himself. So
And
it's
he's
like
not even intimidating in an action standpoint. That
no, yeah, yeah. I oh, him dying was hilarious.
I
That
mean, it
was
was
so
funny, but
funny.
it was just
It was so funny.
in
It
this
wasn't.
movie where it's like it's time to be serious at every moment. This is
Yeah.
doomsday. The world's imploding, and then yeah, that happens.
Oh, that was funny to me. I don't know. I don't know. This I don't know. I guess it just some of this stuff works for me. I I like Haley Atwell. Um,
Yep. Well, they gave her nothing in this one except to show off her boobies and resuscitating scene. That's
I
what she
mean,
did.
there's. I mean, she has. I mean, she's has to grab the thing at the right time or whatever. I mean,
Oh yeah, she was the only one who could do that. That was so
yeah,
oh pickpocketing. It's all about the timing. Oh,
fraction of a second. Yeah, blink of an
yeah.
eye. I don't know. It's fine. It works for me.
Mantis could have done that. I'm just saying.
Nah, she had to stick a straw in his chest.
Yeah, they could have reversed and it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't know. I thought I liked the movie. Um, you know, I pretty much. I don't know. I gave it a pass because I like him. So
I get it. You're giving it a pass, but those are the people that I actually like. All of the president and Ron Swanson
well,
and all of that is just garbage to me.
yeah,
Poopy caca. I
yeah,
don't care. You're taking
yeah.
up screen time. Cut all of it and make it 3 minutes. I don't even care. It it made the movie really long, and it was the most uninteresting part of this movie. It had to be done because you had to set up the stakes. I get it, but do it better. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't done good.
Well, it's funny because they kind of they go well. We need to speed run the last movie in like 5 minutes in the beginning, and then they proceeded for the next hour to
Yep.
still go through the whole thing. So
Yep.
it's like, why did you speed run it if you're going to still do it? I would say, yeah, you could have cut out 45 minutes of this movie to an hour of this movie and just truncated it. There was, I don't know, they just tried to give it stakes with having Ving Rhames die early, but yeah, for some people they don't care about those characters and stuff. So yeah, it's weird because they try to make it a culmination, but like I said, there's been so much time between. I mean, 30 years almost,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So it's like, do people care? Do people even seen it? People know about it? You know?
yeah. I agree, but yeah, the Luther Dine didn't do anything for me, and I've seen all of them. And I do like him in the other ones. I just felt like the way he died in this one was lame. And
Yeah,
even if you go back to the last one for Elsa, I didn't like how she died either in that
yeah,
one. Um,
yeah,
so then, whenever somebody dies, I think it's done horribly. If someone was to die, it should have been at the end. That would have made more sense, and it
yeah,
should have been for something. But I guess they made it for something, but it's for the people we don't know or whatever BS.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah. There's just too much of this movie I don't like, but I like the stunts, which is still a big portion of the movie.
yeah.
So I
Reminds me of
still
another
think it's worth.
movie. Reminds me of another movie with Tom Cruise that made a butt ton of money.
Yeah, Top Gun. Is what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh, that's right. Top Gun Maverick. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with you on that one. I don't. All I was interested in was the plane fighting as well. Everything
mhm.
else, poopy caca. I don't care. Don't need volleyball. I don't need any of it.
It
But
was not
yeah,
volleyball. It was something foot like two
and
way football or
dude,
something.
yeah, they played foot. Whatever. Who cares? They had
I
those
like that
shirts off.
song. That was a sweet song. That Run Republic
Um,
song. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I don't got any more to say, to be honest. But yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say my favorite one is the Henry Cavill one. I think I know you said he's lame, but the guy in the previous one who he talks like this,
Yeah.
that one, yeah, I think he's one of the better villains. And then I liked Henry Cavill. I like imposing villains that can actually fight.
He can't fight. Oh, Henry Cavill can fight.
Yeah, yeah,
That's who
yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
The other guy can fight too. He's actually really smart as well. The one in Ghost Protocol I felt was like really lame, but all of the things that they have to do to stop him are awesome. But
I
I still
thought
think that one's really high. I'm not saying that one's low. I
that
like that one.
if I remember correctly, that's also the one with the Kremlin.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like all every set piece in that movie is well done. It's
yeah,
well shot. Jeremy Renner's good in it. Like all the people are good in it. The opening is good. The
yeah,
opening credits are good. Like
yeah.
literally the whole movie is good. Yeah,
I don't know. The first part of Ghost Protocol has, or not Ghost Protocol, Fallout has like the plane diving scene. I guess the beginning of that one is he has to like shoot Luther or something,
I always
but it
like
wasn't
the.
very
I
interesting.
always like. I also like a movie that if it sets up a template of how a good movie is supposed to be, I give it points for that. Like Fallout is not as good without that first movie
I
in
get
that
what
in
you're
the new
saying, but
ones.
I'm not going to dock it points because I wasn't the first one to do it.
And
But
Fallout, like I said, has a lot of boring in the middle of that movie. There's a boring to me. It reminds me of this movie. It's
I
like a
haven't
lot.
rewatched that one, but I see what you're saying. I still like Ghost Protocol.
And I don't care what anyone says. I know everyone loves it. Him cocking his fists like they're shotguns is stupid as hell. I
Yeah,
think that is
fuck
so dumb. I know everyone thinks it's awesome. I think it's so dumb. It looks stupid. You look stupid. Um,
okay.
and with his goofy mustache. All right. Yeah. So, but I gave my rating. I think so which ones did you watch again? The fourth and fifth one. So you
Yeah.
you just watched it.
I
I just
like both of those better than this one. I don't know what I
yeah
would rate those other ones, but
yeah
I think I'm gonna go to a 6, but who knows? Maybe I'll change it in the future. But
that's fine. Yeah
I really wanted to like it more. I really
yeah
did.
me too me
Yeah.
too. Um, but yeah, I mean but we're all still talking about good movies, so they're not like none of them are like bad. So yeah.
Agreed.
So yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Until then.
This has been the Daniel and Andrew Show.